All right, Camp NextGen Oklahoma 2021 is complete.
Over.
I'm exhausted.
Beyond exhausted.
But it was worth it.
It was.
All right, so we kind of got thinking, and we've never really talked about, we've talked about what NextGen is, but we've never really went in depth as far as what we do and how we do it. But, so just real quick, I guess just a rundown of a normal day of camp. So for here, it's in the evening when we do it in
and
Tennessee.
It's inside.
And it's inside in the air conditioning. Praise God.
Sorry, Tennessee people.
When we do it in Tennessee, it is actually in the morning because it is outside.
Yes.
So we're trying to get it done first thing before the heat. Because about the time we finish is when the heat really starts to kick in.
Absolutely.
And so trying to get it done before all of that. But normal day camp, 2 hours. If we're doing a full week camp, day camps kind of depend on where we're at and how much they want us to do.
What age group we're with.
Yeah. But 2 hours, as far as for Oklahoma, because we can do another video after Tennessee and go a little more in depth there, but as far as Oklahoma, Monday through Thursday is from 6 o'clock to 7, really.
Yeah.
We're playing games. It may be dodgeball, it may be a tag game, it may be trying to think of what we might be playing with fake poop, we might be playing with plungers.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Chickens, pigs.
We could totally incorporate the plungers and the fake poop somehow. That would make it even better.
We'll work on that.
But changing games every 10 or 20 minutes, really. We try not to
20's the max.
Yeah, we're trying, unless it's the last day, which that's different altogether. But 20 minutes max. The games that we know they're not going to be as, what's the word I want here?
Engaging.
Yeah, or thrilled about.
And you got to look, we always have to evaluate our age group of kids.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and even then, we think that there's a game that they might love, and then
they're not so hot about it,
Or vice versa. We think it's a game that they're just going to want to do 10 minutes of.
Yeah, or it's a game that maybe in Oklahoma they love, but we show it to the kids in Tennessee, and they're like, no, not my favorite thing.
It's different kids.
Kids are weird.
And it changes year to year on
absolutely.
What we do and how long we do it. Mm-hmm. But every 10, 20 minutes, changing games. 7 o'clock for the Oklahoma camp. We hit 7 o'clock. Well, we hit 6:45, 6:50. We do a game that is really just one time a week.
Yes.
Unless it just happens to be one that they really love.
Yeah.
But a game that then will go and relate to our Bible story.
Yes.
So from 6:45, 6:50 to 7, that is our time that we devote that 10, 15 minutes to the game that is going to then in turn be paired with the Bible study. Hit 7 o'clock or right around-ish, whenever that game ends, we go and Keys Baptist Church and the people of Keys Baptist Church are so generous and donate snacks for our kids. Super blessed with a church that supports this ministry so well. But we take the kids, they get a snack, they get a cup of water, and then we share the Bible story with them.
We get spoiled in Oklahoma because we get air conditioning and people handle the snack for us.
Yes.
When we're in Tennessee, it's us.
Yeah.
We're outside.
Shout out to Jodelle and Cheyenne because they handle
maybe
snack.
Can you put them in the truck with you and just bring them?
Maybe.
Maybe.
They might. I mean, road trip.
That's right.
But shout out to Jodelle and Cheyenne because they make it go so smooth. We don't have to worry about it. Even water breaks during, in between games. They've got it set out and ready. All we got to do is say, kids, if you need a drink, go get a drink of water.
Once again, we're spoiled.
We are so spoiled, so blessed. And it would not go near as smooth as it would without them.
It's a lot more work in Tennessee because it is just you and I and Kelsey.
Absolutely.
And we're having to fill up water and hand out snack and all the things.
But they get a snack. They sit down, snack, cup of water. And I tell them the first day, I say, all right, guys, here's the deal. We will play all the games that we can play. We will have as much fun as you guys can handle, as long as you can sit for this 20 minutes and give us some respect to tell a Bible story.
Absolutely.
And for the most part, they do
It goes
really well about that.
until they start spilling water.
Something was up with water spills this year, and I think we had, three one day.
Yeah, something like that.
Right after another.
And it was big kids spilling. It wasn't even little kids.
No, we had a 2-year-old keeping her water.
Her water stayed the whole time. She drank the whole cup.
Yeah, I don't know. But other than that, I mean, they really do. They sit and listen. They ask questions, which we love.
They try to tell the story for you.
Yes, they try and tell the story. They think that they have it figured out.
Oh, yeah. They start making connections with the game and start shouting, and you're like, spoiler alert, calm down.
We don't raise hands well, but we don't really ask them to either.
No, we don't.
So I'm okay with that. But devote that 20-minute block to a Bible story every night. And then from 7:20, 25-ish, whenever we get done with Bible story, or if it's earlier.
It depends on the Bible story.
Yes, depends on the Bible story. All the way to 7:50, we play more games.
Yep.
Once again, break it up, 10, 20 minutes. And then that last 10 minutes from 7:50 to 8 is wrap up. We do campers of the day, which is really just a way for us. I mean, all it is a piece of candy.
Yeah.
But it's just a way to promote them to, in my mind, just to have good behavior.
They're pumped about that piece of candy.
It is a positive reinforcement
Yeah.
of, hey, if I come in and I
do my job.
Yeah, if I do my job, if I'm respectful, if I help pick up, if I am, if I help with the little kids, if I'm nice to everybody, they're going to see that and they're going to reward that. So that's kind of just a normal day of camp. We end with a prayer and send them on their way. But as far as Oklahoma goes, going back to that blessed with a really supportive church thing, on Friday, we change it up a little bit. And from the time the kids get here at, 6 or before that, all the way to 7:40-ish, 7:40-ish.
7:40-ish, yeah.
Straight games. I mean, water breaks in between, but
it's killer.
It's killer, but the kids love it. This year we played lots of dodgeball.
My arm feels it.
Your arm feels it. My back is feeling it. But you can't say no.
No.
Because it's so much fun, and they love it when we jump in.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when, opposite teams. So then it was funny because one of them was like, that's not fair. And I was like, you have Amy.
Yeah.
It's like, this is equal here.
Yeah.
But they love it when we jump in and play with them. And so on that Friday, it's just straight games for hour and a half, and
it's kids' choice.
Yes.
Like, we ask them, what games do you like, or we've observed what games they like, and we play the games that they like on Fridays.
Absolutely.
They essentially play on Friday.
Yeah, we pick favorites. We try on Thursday, say, all right, give us your favorite game, one game. Yeah. And that's what we try and base the whole night around. And, we really try and fit all the games that they say in.
I think we got them all in.
We tell them we may not play them for as long as we normally would on a normal day of camp, but we're trying to get in all your favorites. We're trying to make sure you at least play everything that you liked playing during the week. And then 7:40, we hit that time of let's dive into our Bible story game. And so Friday never changes. It is like set in stone concrete that the story is just going to flat out be the gospel presentation. Because we've talked about other things all week, Bible characters, certain stories in the Bible, that sort of thing. But let's go straight to the point, and Friday let's give that gospel presentation and give those kids a chance to respond. But what's so cool about, and I think doing it in the evening here helps this part of it as far as doing it in the morning there. But what's so cool is that we invite the parents to come for that final night. And so they're showing up around 7:40, 7:30, and we're right in the middle of this game, and they get to watch that. They get to watch their kids have fun and get to see what they've talked about all week.
Right.
And so Friday's game is relay / obstacle course.
Race.
Yeah, race, but they're working together. I mean, depending on how many kids we have, I don't think we've ever had to do 3 teams.
No,
I think
just
we've
2.
always just done 2. But they're not necessarily teams against each other. Well, they're not. They're working together. We just have to split them to make it go faster.
Or we'd be here all night.
Yes, we'd still be sitting here watching them run. But obstacle course, just to make it fun. You can do it with just a straight race.
That's boring.
But yeah, we're trying to make it to where they actually enjoy doing it. And so, obstacle course, and they do it one time through, and we time them.
We time them.
You actually timed them,
I did
didn't
time
you?
them, yes.
And so, get through it one time and say, like, this in Oklahoma, theirs was what, 4.5-ish, somewhere
They got
around
right
there?
at 4 the first time, yeah.
Okay, right at 4. So then we tell them, and we even eliminated something this year.
Yeah.
We normally don't do that.
No.
In between, we even eliminated something to make it go faster. And we say, all right, we think you can do it in, we said, 2.5 minutes. You guys are going to have to be fast. You're going to have to work real hard. We think you can do it 2.5 minutes. And of course, they're like up for the challenge and they're ready.
But the thing is it's an impossible goal.
Exactly. We make it impossible on purpose. And even if they make it, we got a little,
They can't see my watch?
yeah, just a little bit of a fudge, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry.
Might get in front of them so they have to stall for a second.
Yeah.
But we tell them, if you don't make this, you're going to have a penalty. You're going to have a punishment. What was the punishment, Amy?
It's always burpees because I'm horrible at them.
I offered you something else.
But the parents were wanting burpees. I saw their faces. Some of them knew what was coming and they were getting excited because they know how much I hate burpees, and I try to please the people of Oklahoma.
Well, so give them a punishment. We tell them what their punishment is. If they don't make it, they have to do this. So
You said 10. I just said burpees. We could have did 5.
but they would have been okay with 5. We got to at least make it where they don't want to do it, so they try. We still had one girl that said, I want to do burpees.
Nobody likes burpees.
Come here, you can do mine. But they go through it a second time. They don't meet that goal that we set for them, and spread them out. Get ready.
Nobody
hold up.
start.
Nobody start. We're going to do them all together. And we kind of sit and we congregate for a second. And we say, all right, you know what? Y'all have done so good this week. We had to joke and say, other than Tuesday and Thursday, because they were a little rambunctious those
We were
days.
chatty.
we were chatty Cathy's and didn't want to zip it. But they were fine. But we say, y'all have done so good. You've worked hard. Y'all are really tired. We're going to step up. We're going to take your punishment.
Then they get all excited.
Yeah, unless you're the one that wanted to do the burpees.
Yeah, but I think they still get excited because they realize you and I are going to do the burpees.
So they help us count them out. We do the burpees.
I'm glad they know how to count. Good job, Keys Public Schools.
Maybe if we could tell them that maybe we need to get somebody that can only count to like 3.
We needed our little guy.
We needed our little guy, and he could have just counted to 3, and
We
then
would've
all
been
we had
done.
to do was 3.
We'd have been done.
Wishful thinking, right?
Right.
They probably wouldn't have been onto that.
No, they would have went and helped him count.
But get that all done. We move over to where we do snack. Kids get a snack. We even had enough snacks this year that parents got to have a snack, which I think was super cool.
Yeah.
Because they got to sit with their kid and eat a snack. And we tell the gospel presentation. So, I mean, you know, God created a perfect world. Sin broke God's perfect world. God sent Jesus to come and live on this earth. And he never sinned. Died a death on a cross so that we can, accept that gift of eternal salvation and go and spend eternity in heaven with Him. Short and sweet there, but we put it on a kid level to where they can understand it.
And I think it's cool we alternate. You tell it in Oklahoma because they're the people that see you every day, and then I'll turn around and tell it in Tennessee because those are the kids that see me every day.
So we've kind of strategically planned the days of, because we switch obviously back and forth, and so like Monday, Wednesday, Friday of Oklahoma, I'm telling the stories, and then she does Tuesday, Thursday, and then we flip whenever we go to Tennessee.
Yeah.
And so, but parents are sitting there, and so I think that's so cool because parents, we don't know if those parents have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ or not. I mean, yes, quite a few of our kids that come are church kids, but that doesn't mean their parents come.
Absolutely not.
And it also doesn't mean that just because their parents come, they're saved.
Exactly.
But we did have quite a few kids this year that are not church kids, and so that was awesome. But getting those parents there to hear that message as well is super special to me, to be able to see all these parents that come.
It lets them see what makes us different than just basketball camp or softball camp or just any other camp. Oh, that's what's different about that camp.
And I mean, I did it before we started the story. I said, all right, kids, let's show these parents that we actually learned something this week and didn't just play a bunch of games. And we went through, and they really did really good at telling me all the stories that we told this week. God bless them. They cannot get Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Listen, it's rough when you're little and you got a country twang.
But
it's rough.
They cannot remember those names, but they remember.
One kid called it Sheshach.
Yes.
More than
once.
That one got me.
More than once.
Nobody's got a Sheshach or a Sheshed.
But they knew the story.
They knew what happened. Absolutely.
And so they did really well at remembering what we talked about every day and the concept behind it all. But lay it all out. Jesus came to save you. All you got to do is admit, believe, confess, ABC, that sort of thing. And then show a slideshow that we put together of the week. And I think the kids like that because they like to see themselves playing.
And the parents like to see other stuff that has happened.
Show the parents that their kids did have fun. And which I think they all had a blast from what the parents have taught, what the parents told us. But just getting to see what their kids were doing. The slideshow, we do our Campers of the Week, which is just kind of like over the top kids.
Above and beyond.
Yeah, that went above and beyond, that were just
try to get people we never had to get on to for anything really.
Yeah, super helpful. This year, our olders were incredible. I mean, they really just blew me out of the water as far as...
They reminded me of, like, my 7th and 8th graders.
Yes, and they were 5th and 6th graders.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, just... I can't put... I mean, and what's so special to me about that is a lot of those kids were the ones that I did my full internship with.
Right.
And so for the fact that they came... First off, and then the fact that they were as good as they were.
Yeah.
That just, I cannot put into words how proud that makes me. And then, but Campers of the Week, we divide it up into grade ranges really, because we have completed kinder to completed 5th grade, so incoming 1st to incoming 6th. So we go 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th, and we try unless it's just completely impossible to pick one in each of those grade categories.
That's just because you can't compare an incoming 1st grader to an incoming 6th grader. They're not the same person.
No, not at all. And so try and pick in those grade categories as far as our Camper of the Week. And so this year we had a little boy that was going into 2nd grade.
He's going into 1st.
Going into 1st, you're right. Yeah, he
Yeah,
is. Yeah,
still
he
getting
is.
first.
I want to make him older than he is.
Yeah.
Who was our middle? A boy who was going into third,
Mm-hmm.
and then
We had a problem.
we had a problem. The olders, like I said, they were just outstanding.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
just couldn't pick between two girls.
no, and nothing against the boys, and I told them that, but these
Girls
two,
have that mothering instinct.
the two girls just kind of took a little or a couple different littles under their wings, basically, and here, put him on my team for this game, and I'll help him because they're not, understanding what's going on. And these two girls would like take him back and forth.
Alternate, yeah.
Like, I'll take him for this game, you take him for this game. And so it was like, how do we pick?
Yeah,
Because
and they're the ones cleaning up, they're the ones helping, they're the ones holding the doors open.
So, like, how do we pick? And so all week we told them 3 campers of the week. 3.
Only 3.
And then, lo and behold, we pulled out another prize tonight. And
had to have 4.
4. Just kidding. Surprise. But it was just, it was an awesome week.
Absolutely. I think I could sleep for a week, though.
We could do that. Yeah.
Sleep camp.
Absolutely. I like that idea. Is that a thing?
I'm about to have it.
Let's go. All right. So that's just kind of a rundown of the week. Super fast. I say fast. I talk for a very long time. But
It's okay. Your granddad's coming out in you.
Impromptu.
Yeah.
What we do.
And then another thing is the games don't repeat.
No, we do
Like-
our best not to.
Like, in a day, you're not going to play the same game twice. No. So that takes a lot of planning, but luckily we have backgrounds in that.
Yes.
So,
Yes, and the only things that we really repeat are our dodgeball games.
and that's just because they're such a big hit. And all my PE people cannot get mad at me. You don't get out in our dodgeball. You get right back in.
Yes.
There's
always.
a way for you always to get back in. So.
Always. And so, and I mean,
Nobody's
the
out
one,
and sitting.
The one game, Space Invaders, you don't even get out.
And you don't in sky bowling either. You only get out in 2 of them, but you get back in, PE people. Calm down.
Yeah, I mean, immediately.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they love them. And
Yeah.
so that's the only thing that we play really more than once.
Yeah.
Other than on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Because.
That shit when people think we're just repeating,
No,
repeating.
Because, I mean, Jedi and Space Invaders, which are the 2 top dodgeball games.
Yep.
I mean, we went and literally alternated.
Yeah.
Monday was one, Tuesday was the next, back to.
Yep.
And that gave them, they got to play it a lot, but it wasn't repetitive.
Over the top. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're changing up games until and I mean, about Wednesday we figure out what those favorites are.
Absolutely.
And we try and start, if we played it Monday, we might play it again just so they get to play it more. But we're not same thing every time. And we know, like, Crazy Cones, they don't love it. So we played it once.
Right.
And that was it. And it was done.
Yeah.
But it gave us, I mean, it's an easy game for the littles.
It gives the little something that
And
they're good at.
Yeah, so we alternate what we do based on the kids that we have and make sure that everybody has something that they're successful at least at some point throughout the
absolutely.
week, and that they can enjoy. Highlight of the week.
Mine?
Yes.
Just being that older group teacher, that being my background. I love little kids too, but I love when you see the big kids come in and take control of it and help and do the things that you expect them to do, but sometimes we forget that they're a kid too.
Yeah.
And so seeing that in your kids was really cool, because I know I have it when we go to mine, because my older kids that are going into 8th grade, they're going to be juniors in high school, sign up. So
yeah. Mine, I mean, I talked about the parents showing up and the fact of how many parents we have that come. Because I think every kid had a parent.
at least one.
You gonna choke on me? Mm-hmm. Every kid, I think, had a parent there. And so the parent involvement and support that we get. But then, bigger than that, I say bigger than that, probably higher up than that for me is there was a little boy that came in Monday. First kid here, which didn't help.
That's never good.
No. And type of kid that you could tell didn't want to be out of his comfort zone, let's say that way.
Right, and I get that. I was that kid.
But came in, kind of had some tears.
I was that kid.
I don't want to say was apprehensive about staying, just wasn't really
Listen, I get it. I would have wanted my mama to stay too.
He wanted mom right there with him. And I pulled out my list of people that had signed up, and I was like, look, so-and-so's going to come. Do you know this one? Do you know this one? I think this one was in your class. And mom's sitting there trying to go, oh, yeah, you'll have fun. Yeah. They'll come. Very next kid that showed up.
Thank you, God.
Was one that was in his class.
Yes.
That he's real good buddies with, I guess. They ran off. They started playing tag. They were fine. Every day after that, he came in
pretty well.
Tuesday he was still a little, but he wasn't the first kid here, so that helped.
Right. He was never the first kid again.
No, and going back to our bigs, because we had some bigs here, as soon as he came in here and they saw him, they started playing tag with him and got his mind on games and not on, hey, mom just left me.
Absolutely.
And so, he came in ready to play all the other days. Mm-hmm. On Thursday, we were playing a dodgeball game. Of course, we jumped in and we're playing.
It's hard not to.
Yeah. And then I had walked up to, because it was one where it was Space Invaders, where you're not trying to get people out, you're trying to hit tennis balls on the other team that the other team has and stuff. And so I had walked up and was kind of waiting for an opening to hit a tennis ball, and he was in front of me, and he just kind of came up to me, and he just kind of like gave me muscles and started roaring at me and growling at me, and I was just looking at him like, this is not the same kid that came in on Monday.
Absolutely not.
And so of course I did it back, because what else do you do? And so, every time I'd walk up there, he'd sit there and roar at me and growl, but just the transformation that we saw in him to me, that is the why of why we're doing this. Yes, obviously the big why is to lead these kids to Christ and plant seeds and water seeds, but just a kid that who knows what he does during the summer because of not wanting to go out of his comfort zone much, that came and had as much fun as he did.
Right.
And heard about Jesus and all these other Bible stories in the process.
Absolutely.
That was just probably my biggest point, or my biggest just smile of the week, because that was not the same kid that came in on Monday.
Yeah.
Bible stories that we did this week. Monday was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego getting thrown into the fire.
Tuesday was Jonah and the big fish.
Jonah and the big fish.
Not a whale, it's a fish.
I liked it that whenever I asked that today, my kid that answered said Jonah and the big fish. And I was
Jonah and the big fish.
You get an extra piece of candy, sir.
Extra piece of candy, yep.
Wednesday, we actually changed it up a little bit and talked about building on a solid foundation.
Got to show off my hula hut building skills.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
It's okay. I'm not an architect. I'm a PE teacher.
They said that we should have used tape and glue, though, to make them
nobody
stronger.
got time for that.
Well, we were talking about how could we have made it stronger as far as building on a foundation.
But then the game wouldn't have worked.
No, but it was all right. But kind of changed it up and really didn't focus on a character or anything or a story. Just wanted to, I guess, kind of throw it out there as far as we should be building our lives on Christ and not on the sand and the things that are going to fail us, but build it on a God who will never fail. And then Wednesday.
That was Wednesday.
or Thursday, sorry.
Thursday was David and Goliath, and we did David in the Lion's Den last year. So
Daniel in the Lion's
Daniel in the Lion's Den. Yeah. So David and Goliath got confusing.
I get that confused too. It's okay.
All the D's, but it was cool because so many kids knew so much about David and Goliath, and they'd heard that story, so they were all excited.
They all wanted to tell it.
I might as well just picked one of them and went up there for me.
Yeah, that's my answer a lot of times.
Yeah.
Would you just like to come tell it? Come on, sir.
I'm at school. I can say, do you have a piece of paper? But can't really do that here.
And then Friday obviously is gospel presentation, and we have yet to do the same stories.
Yeah, we haven't repeated
this
in
is
3
year
years.
3, and we have yet to do the same stories.
It's getting a little tricky though.
There's still lots of Bible characters. That's what I'm believing.
How are we gonna play a game with Ruth though?
Or Esther? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Have to think real hard.
We might need some help. If you want to help us out, feel free.
This year we did something different as well and picked a theme verse for the year. Hadn't done that. We have our NextGen theme verse of Matthew 28:19. Go therefore and make disciples, because that's our mission. But just a verse to kind of focus on for the week, and picked 1 Timothy 4:12. Don't let anyone look down on you because you're young. Be an example, blah, 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 all that.
You just blah, blah, blah the Bible.
Look it up, but then you got to open your Bible. There you go.
Okay.
To get the blah, 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 look it up.
Got you, Charlie Brown teacher.
But just, it was something that we thought was, if we can get these kids to realize that just because they're young doesn't mean that they are any less important to the family of God, that they're any less important to the church, not as a building, but as a body. And just to know that they can still serve. And we talked about holding doors. We talked about picking up trash. Just any little thing. They can still serve, and they can still show Christ to everybody around them, regardless of their age.
Absolutely.
And I
just
think,
in their attitude, their
yes,
character.
Absolutely. And I think that goes both ways, as far as, young, as far as age-wise, or young as far as spiritual-wise.
Absolutely. That goes for when you get older in the church too. You're not able to do as much,
Exactly.
but you still can do something.
Yes, you can always do something. And so we just wanted those kids to hear it from us that just because they're young, our youngest that we had was 4, unless you count the 10-month-old that hung out with us all week.
She counts. She
But-
listened.
Yeah. But our youngest camper was 4, and he can still do something and be a part of the church. He can pick up trash. He can hold a door. He might need a little help if it's a heavy door, but he even the littlest can do something. And so just putting a smile on the older people's face, something. Just trying to instill that in them, and then get them to believe that and turn around and use that, was something that we thought that was just going to be perfect for this year. Anything else I'm forgetting?
I don't think so.
It was a very condensed recap of the week.
Maybe you can post the slideshow up too.
Yeah, I'll put the slideshow up. We never hit our 30 mark.
No, we got close.
We got to 25, but
That's all right.
I couldn't have asked for...
A better group of people.
Exactly. I couldn't have asked for a better group of... And we only hit 25 one day, and then we averaged around 22, probably.
Yeah.
But couldn't have asked for a better group. Just all around, we're from our youngest to our oldest. I mean, they all had their moments of, hey, think about what you're about to do, think about what you might be about to say, but overall, an incredible week, an incredible group, so blessed to be able to do this, and we have about
I think it's
less
about
than a month.
I think it's right at 4 weeks.
So, I don't know. We got some time to recoup, though.
Thank goodness. I'm getting too old for this.
We got some time to recoup, and then we'll hit it again in Tennessee. And who knows?
July 12th.
Yep, July 12th to 12, 30, 40, 50, 16?
That sounds good to me.
12, 16, we believe. Don't mark our words.
It's on the Facebook page.
Yeah. But hit it again. Who knows? Maybe we'll throw a day camp at a daycare or something around here in one of those days. Just could not have gone better. Just so overwhelmed. I really just don't have words. It was such a good week. Got any last words?
It's time for bed.
It's time for bed.
Absolutely.
It's time to sleep for like a week.
Absolutely.
All right, NextGen fam, thank you guys so much for all your prayers, all your support. You guys definitely helped, even though you weren't physically present. I know that there was people all over the country praying for this week and these kids. So thank you guys.
Maybe even overseas. I don't know if Mikhail's watching or not.
Yeah. Maybe not even just Mikhail. We might have some others. I don't know where all these people are from.
I don't know. I just know Mikhail.
If you comment on this thing, tell us where you're from.
Yeah.
So that we know.
Yeah, Mikhail, you better watch since we mentioned you.
But just thank you guys so much for all the support, and we will we'll do another video and we can recap Tennessee after that maybe.
It'll be outside.
You'll have to do the talking on that one.
Oh, okay.
I
have time.
Make you out a cue card.
Yeah, absolutely. Kelsey can hold it for me back there.
But in all seriousness, guys, thank you so much for your support. Couldn't do it without the prayers, without the physical support that we had here, and just such a good year. Until next year, Oklahoma. Go out, have a great day, be the example.